Good morning and welcome to Business Africa Live on BTA. I'm your host, Benjamin Afre. Today we'll take a look at e-banking. What is e-banking? What are the benefits to individuals, to corporates, to the economy as a whole? What are some of the current challenges they are going through, especially in Ghana? And what are some of the strides that they've made in e-banking? We'll take a short break. When we come back, I'll introduce our guest for this morning to you, and then we'll take our discussions from there. Stay tuned in.
Do you know that there are more successful people in Ghana today than before? Well, that is the truth, and the secret is in prudent financial planning with the right financial manager. You need to know the right fund manager who spends your money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 12 months in a year. That manager is at Gold Coast Fund Management. At Gold Coast, your money never sleeps. It revolves every second to give you more money for use when you really need it. For the past 21 years, Gold Coast Fund Management has held a strong reputation of spending people's money to beat inflation, depreciation, and treasury bill rates. Put your money to work. Move from savings to investment. Pay your investment tithe into the Gold Fund and Gold Money Market Fund, and be assured that when you are in need, you can turn to them to resolve your financial problems. Gold Coast Fund Management. Investment advice worth its weight in gold.
So we discussed e-banking this morning, and to do that discussion with me is Silas Kwame Entry. He's the head of e-banking in First National Savings and Loans, one of the widest spreading savings and loans company in the country. And I'm happy to have you in our studio this morning.
Thank you.
It's been a while trying to catch you to come to the studio, but it's good that finally we have you here.
Thank you.
So when we talk about e-banking, what specifically are we talking about?
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. E-banking basically means using technology in the mean of internet to be able to make transactions in terms of your businesses and all that. That's the main focus of our e-banking. So having technology in the main use of what internet, be able to perform certain transactions, mainly in the banking sector or the informal sector.
I see.
Yeah.
So that you can do maybe payments.
You can do payments online. You
can also do transfers.
Transfer of money and all that using e-banking, and withdrawal of ATM is also part of e-banking. Now there has also been a lot of innovation in the banking industry when it comes to e-banking as a whole. You talk about ATM, you talk about internet banking, online statement, that's e-statement, and you talk about ATMs. Yeah, these are all the major players in terms of the e-banking sector, and most of the Ghanaian banks are playing a very major role in terms of the e-banking sector.
So if you look at, what you've talked about, compare that to or vis-a-vis the education or literacy level in this country, would you say we are making good progress?
Yes, I will. I believe so. Gradually we are getting there, because now, majority of Ghanaians are adopting the system of using internet, and that is where it plays a major role when it comes to the internet e-banking section.
Okay.
Most Ghanaians are using internet because most Ghanaians are having use of smartphones nowadays, so which have access to internet, and also a lot of applications on the smartphone are also based on internet. So Ghanaians are gradually getting there to the stage of electronic banking, which hopefully we will get there.
So it's not about those who sit in the office with a laptop or a desktop computer alone, but as long as you have a phone, a mobile phone that can access internet, you will be able to do or be part of this e-banking culture.
Yes, please. Once you have a phone, because most banks now, a lot of customers who banks with some of the major banks are using what we call e-statement or SMS alerts, which is also deployed in the form of e-banking, because when you make transactions in your account, you have electronic notification.
I see.
Ghanaians are able to read the text message and also be able to send a command for their account balance. So this is also a form of also not mainly for people who sit in their offices with tie and also be able to check internet, but the informal sector
as well.
People in the Makwala, the market places, they also they have internet, they have smartphones which uses internet, and they are also benefiting gradually from the e-banking section.
That's an interesting one. If you look at e-banking as this, or as gradually we are coming up to, would you say that Ghanaians are patronizing this service? Would you say that Ghanaians are patronizing this service more? If you compare, say, if you take us 5 years back and now, what would you say would a trend in this?
Yeah, like I said, gradually we are getting there. I mean, the use of e-banking has become one of the major play in the Ghanaian industry, because now gone are the days that clients or customers walk into the banking hall, they form a long queue in the banking hall just to check their account balances, just to make a deposit in the account, or just to make a transfer or transfer money to their families. Nowadays, internet banking or e-banking has come to play in a way that Ghanaians can comfortably sit at their home or their offices, even work on the beach or wherever they are. They can be able to access the e-banking, because I can comfortably sit at my home, use one of the two of internet bank, e-bank, which is the internet bank, can be able to transfer money from my account to my family out there. Can be able to make deposits, can be able to pay goods and services out there. So we are getting there, because most of the banks that we have are all deploying the services of electronic banking, which has also helped a lot of which has also come to play in terms of building up the gap of using of internet.
So what will you say are the benefits, both to the individual and if you take the economy as a whole? What are some of the benefits of e-banking?
Thank you. One of the benefits of e-banking, as I mentioned, is like you not walking from your office to the banking hall to make just a deposit or a withdrawal or even transfer money to your family. You can comfortably sit at your home. So one, it saves time.
It is convenient as well.
Convenient, very secured. Because now you have access, you have control over your account and your account balances, and you can transfer money in a secured way. So one, it saves time, very secured and very convenient. And then also, it gives you the time to be able to also to do your own reconciliation, because you don't necessarily need to come to the banking hall. Wherever you are, you can comfortably send money. You know, gone are the days that Ghanaians travel to China and they carry a lot of money out there. But now you can sit back here, Ghana, and be able to wire off money in your partner's account or wherever you are, and goods and services can just flow quickly. So e-banking has come to help the economy and that's Ghana as a whole.
So if that is the case, would you then say that it will help in terms of the drive towards a cashless society?
Yes, I believe so, because I can make an example, like the Nigerian economy. The Central Bank of Nigeria has just passed a law in 2002 that individuals, the businesses who goes to the banking hall just to make a withdrawal of 1,000 naira, below 1,000 naira would attract a fee of 100 naira. So in this case, it's deterring people from making a huge withdrawal at the counter by introducing a lot of debit card, a lot of electronic payments in the economy, just to close up the gap of having a lot of cash in the system.
Is it that the more you withdraw the charge, or that you encourage that you use more of the cards, so that if you are withdrawing lower denominations, you don't have to go to the bank?
Yeah, I think the idea of the Nigerian Central Bank is that they just want to bridge the gap between they have a lot of cash, physical cash in the system. So now they want to employ the use of the cashless society, having a lot of electronic products on the market, debit card and credit cards, eBay, electronic payments, ATM, internet banking, just be able to, just a common transaction that you need to be able to, just to transfer 10,000 naira to a client or 1,000 naira to a client, you just need to walk into a bank or to make. But then you can be able to use the internet banking facility. So that is what the Nigerian Central Bank has deployed. And I think gradually it's helping them to bridge the gap between, to bridge the gap of the cashless society. That is what they are driving towards.
If you look at the Nigerians, example, vis-a-vis what our own people, especially our people at the interbank payment settlement systems are doing,
Good.
Are we going the same direction? Do you think we would be able to achieve the cashless society we are looking for?
Yeah. With the example that you just cited, the GIPS example, now GIPS is also moving towards whereby the ECOWAS system, they can have one common electronic platform.
Okay.
Whereby I can use, example, like my eSwitch card, where it's also one form of the e-banking. Yeah, that I can also use my eSwitch card to be able to make transactions. Even when I travel to Nigeria or to Togo or Benin, I can still be able to use my eSwitch card to be able to make goods and to be able to purchase goods and also to pay bills. So it's one of the tools that the central banks, and the help of GIPS, is also trying to bring into the Ghana society in terms of the e-banking system, because now they have also introduced another. Now the example that I started with the GIPS eSwitch card. Now I can use my GIPS eSwitch card and travel to Togo and be able to make bills payment there, sleep in the hotel and use my GIPS card. Now they are moving the system whereby they can link with MasterCard in US and then also Visa card, whereby I can also transact using my domestic eSwitch card to be able to transact.
So what you're saying is, if there are some goods or something you want to buy from outside the country, you'll be able to sit here and still use your eSwitch card to be able to pay for it.
Exactly, to pay for it without using the MasterCard or the Visa card, because it's also kind of connects the Visa card and the MasterCard industry together. It's one of the target that the GIPS is also trying to achieve. At the end of this year, we are moving into that. Now they finish whereby the interbank cashless society, where I can use my ATM card at First National, for example, to be able to use a car bank, to be able to use my ATM card at EcoBank or Zenith Bank.
I see.
This is what we call the GH Link.
And this is something you can do right now.
As we speak now, you can use right now.
Do that. So
it's happening.
If I have a card of any of the banks and I move anywhere, even if that bank is not there, as long as there is an ATM, I'll be able to withdraw money.
As long as there's an ATM and bordered with Ghana Link, I can be able to make my transactions there.
I see. So those of us who are not in the city but in the hinterlands, as long as you have this, you can have your money on your card. You don't have to go to the bank to take the money.
You don't need to go to the bank to take the money. Once you have the card has a wallet. So it has a savings wallet and a current wallet. Once you don't need to go to the bank, you still can have your money on the card, and wherever you travel, you can be able to make withdrawals or be able to pay goods and services out there.
If you look at the fact that you can make payments everywhere, look at the fact that you can, is it possible to go to any bank then to make a withdrawal? Not necessarily with your card, but even if you have a card and there's a problem, can you go to the bank to make some withdrawal with your card? That might not be possible yet.
That might not be possible yet, yes please.
One of the problems we've faced over the period, for example, is you go to a fuel station, you want to buy fuel, maybe you don't have money, you have a card, but then the fuel station doesn't accept that. Is it something that you are working towards to, where any place that I go, the reason I'm bringing this thing up is, if I can withdraw money with my, say, Ghana Link card on any of the ATMs that has that, shouldn't it be possible that if I go to any of the supermarkets, if I go to a filling station, I should be able to pay for the services or the goods that I buy with the card?
It's possible. We are even getting there. Now you go to most of the oil filling stations, like the Gulf filling station, now they have the Gulf card that you can use to also to purchase
Fuel
your
as
fuel.
well.
Now you
Okay.
go to Shell card is there, Total card is also there. Ghana, we don't have that electronic cards in the system. But now these oil marketing companies are also coming up with electronic cards but there has to be that they have to link those cards together. Then I can be able to have my Gold card and be able to go to Total and be able to buy fuel. I think with time, we are getting a situation whereby you can have one card, even be with ATM card, you can still go to ATM card, be Visa or domestic card, can still go to a filling station and be able to
buy fuel
or using your ATM card or a MasterCard at the filling station. I think it's something that the major players are getting us there, but we will get there. It's possible.
It's possible. We'll take a very quick break. We'll be right back.
My name is Kofi Asamoah, the Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress Ghana, TUC. I keep watching programs of BTA. They interview me, and they're doing a great job. So I would encourage all and sundry to patronize BTA activities.
The tourism industry in Ghana is reported to be the fourth highest foreign exchange earner on our GDP list. We will find out what the impact, the identification, development and promotion of tourist sites in the local vicinities where they are located. We also want to talk to the various chiefs and opinion leaders in these communities to assess whether tourism is making a positive or negative impact on the lives of the local people. This is Tourism TV, fact-finding program that seeks to investigate the existing and potential tourist sites. Join me, Ralph Aike, this and every Friday on this wonderful expedition to find out what tourism is all about in Ghana.
Welcome back. We are still talking to Silas Entry on e-banking and the benefits to Ghana and individuals as well. Not even against Ghana alone, but wherever you find out yourself. Now, Silas, so I was asking that being able to pay for goods and services will be useful and will be helpful. Then it makes sense why somebody will be willing to get a card from a bank A or bank B. Now, if you are, apart from those in the financial services sector, can any other business also, use the e-banking as a way of growing their profitability?
Yes, please. In this section, most of the major banks, not even the financial institutions, are deploying in that sector. Some of them are building up their own electronic platform system whereby they can be able to, in terms of doing their own reconciliation, in terms of making their own payments out there. Most of the major oil industries are deploying the service of electronic banking that they can be able, especially with examples of the filling station.
Okay.
Now, Gulf, for instance, are be able to network all their pump stations out there on electronic system, whereby they can be able to monitor all the stations wherever they are on just their So that is a way of also using the electronic platform in terms of that direction. And other major financial institutions are also going there. Non-financial institutions are also going there. Examples are using electronic system just to pay goods and services. Now, other companies are making deposits just in their office, making electronic deposits into their accounts because they wire the money from their system into their account, and later the bank comes with a physical cash fund to be able to cash out the cash into the system. By so doing, they already have cash deposit in their system where they can be able to make onwards payment. So most of the companies are also moving towards and it's helping their businesses because it makes time. It saves time. It also helps to grow their business because now they deploy electronic system whereby processes can go faster than the usual manual way of processing transactions. So it's also kind of helping the other industries out there.
If you look at Kenya is one of the countries that is, becoming more like a technology hub in Africa. Kenya is doing well. You have a good number of innovators coming from there with different solutions and all that. Would you say that this has helped their economy, and learning from them, would Ghana be able to do better with our economy with the introduction of e-banking, e-commerce, any of these e-processing transactions?
Yes. Gradually, we will get there in the sense of the Kenya situation that you just mentioned. Kenya has just declared that they want to move in terms of the cashless society, that they are modernizing their processes. When you go to the ministries of Kenya now, they move away from the manual way. They move into the automation system whereby they automate all their system. So even in terms of the manpower, they reduce the manpower. Now the system or the e-banking or the platform of electronic banking are even doing most of the works that manually will be done by people who will be employed to do all this work. And Kenya is also one of the examples of cashless society.
Okay.
They have also gone into the system whereby they are mopping away all the cash from the system, and more the banks are issuing a lot of debit cards in the system whereby customers can make withdrawal. Because example is that when you use electronic cards, the debit cards, way of making withdrawal is very limited than going to the banking world to make huge sums of withdrawals. So they are moving away, they are shying away people from going to the bank or carrying a lot of cash doing businesses. We are moving to the cashless society whereby issuing a lot of electronic platform like e-banking, that's SMS, the internet banking, that customers can easily do electronic transactions, necessarily not moving cash or having cash out there. So Kenya example, I think gradually Ghana we are getting there. Yeah.
So you're looking at a situation where the long queues in the banks would eventually reduce.
It will eventually reduce, yeah. We are getting there because, if you walk into most of the banking hall, I can comfortably sit here and be able to check my account balance without moving into the banking hall. So then also it reduces the number of queues in the banking hall. Because you walk into the banking hall just to check your account balance, one, time consuming and waste of time, energy and resources.
Yeah, that is true. Well, so we can learn from the Kenyan experience and all that. But how does e-banking help reduce banking costs? How does it help reduce errors, fraud, etc.? How does e-banking do that, or help us do that?
With a manual way of processing, you walk into a banking hall and you issue a check of 1,000 Ghana cedis, and a cashier has to process the check of 1,000 Ghana cedis. Manually, the cashier can make a mistake. It can even credit a wrong person's account. But with the deploy of the e-banking, now example is the internet banking. Now I can have access to my profile and be able to know who I want to transfer money. And it's very secure because I then have a password to my account, where I have control over the account. So I can be able to choose the person I want to transfer money to. And it's very secure in that sense. It also reduces the number of errors in the system because cashiers manually are making mistakes in the system because they use the manual way of processing checks.
Yeah.
But electronically, when it's done, I have access to my account. Electronically, I can be able to transfer money. And so, in that sense, it reduces the errors in the system. It also, in terms of fraud-wise, you know, when you have manually people going into your account to transfer money on your behalf, then the tendency for them to transfer money from one account to the other, which you are not aware of, is also very high.
Okay.
But with the use of the internet banking or electronic banking platform, it's also linked to an SMS platform,
Okay.
whereby
Okay.
I am very much aware that I'm transferring money from one account to the other. So once the transfer is done, my account or my phone is notified. I'm being notified of the transfer
That has happened on your account.
on my account. So
Okay.
in this way, when somebody is trying to transfer money from your account to somebody's account out there, you'll be notified the use of another e-banking platform, that's the SMS message. So in this way, it reduces the number of fraud in the system. Then in terms of error, I mean, when systems are automated, when processes are automated, it also reduces the number of errors in the system. Yeah.
So then, if you look at also the fact that, or put it this way, if I have to withdraw money,
Yeah.
or I have to use my ATM, and I lose it, then maybe I've lost my money. Isn't it the situation?
No, please. Once you misplace your ATM card, for example, the card does not hold the money, or the money is not on the card, it's on your account.
Okay.
But the card is just a product for you to be able to
Access your money.
your money on your account.
On your account.
So once you look at the card, you just walk into any of the banks and you still ask for the card, and your card can be replaced. The money is not necessarily on the card. It sits right on your account at the bank hall. So even once you lose the card, you can still go to the banking hall and to be able to make withdrawals in the account.
So, you know, you can have only a card on you without even money.
Without even money.
But then once you get to a place where you can access your money with a card, then you can take some money if you want.
Exactly. Even nowadays, most of the major banks are moving into the cardless society.
Cardless.
Cardless. That means that I can walk into the ATM and have my PIN, just a PIN, a password.
I see.
And you just go and make a withdrawal. You just have a password and just make it. You don't need to hold
Even a card again
to make a withdrawal.
So we are going to that. We are moving from a cash society to a cashless society. Now, from cards, we're even going to where there's cardless as well.
It's cardless. You don't need to hold a card that you say my card is missing, or somebody has picked my wallet and my card is in it. No. Once you have a PIN code, you go in there and you can make a withdrawal or you can make a transfer on the account in only of the ATMs.
What happens to people who are illiterate and cannot write the numbers and all that? What happens to them?
Good. You know, we Bank of Ghana again gives example. Is also developing the system whereby we can use a biometric system.
Okay.
Now most of the ATMs we have out there are using the biometric system whereby you don't necessarily need to just enter your PIN code. Once you are biometrically verified with your
maybe
finger,
your thumb,
or is captured in the
maybe
system.
your eyes or something.
Exactly, it's captured in the system. So once you just thumb in, the system just verify you, and you can have access to your cash out there.
I see. That is so. You know, there is more that I need from that.
Okay.
Okay. So if you go to an ATM, it verifies you that yes, you are Silas and you're the one withdrawing money. You know, the problem I have is if you have somebody who is an illiterate, how does a person even enter how much money they want to withdraw? Do they have to speak to the ATM, or do they have to punch something that will give them how much money they want to take? That is where, you know, my challenge is.
Yeah.
That yes, we are growing towards that direction, but you are looking at a situation where, in terms of literacy level, Ghana's literacy level is not very high up there. So if you are trying to reach everybody, then what happens, especially in the illiteracy, not, you know, people who can read or write, you know, if the person is challenged in any way, how do they access their money?
Thank you. With the use of, like I said, a lot of technologies are coming up.
Okay.
Now you have ATM, which is pre-voice recorded.
I see.
You speak to the ATM in any language that you want. Most of the ATMs are decoded with Ghanaian languages and all that. Once you speak to the ATM, the system just verify you again with your thumbprint, and you just talk to the ATM. You want to make a withdrawal, you check your balance, you make a statement, or anything that you want. Once you just speak, the system just responds to the voice and just give the money out. But most people, as you said, cannot read and write. But once the ATM can just speak to you, once they speak to you, you can then respond respond to the question, and then your customer.
So what you are saying is that currently are there some systems like that in the country now?
Some banks in this country have started with that.
Interesting.
Some banks in the I can cite banks like Barclays Bank.
I see.
It's moving towards that direction.
I see.
And even with that, with the electric in the system, with that, even most of them, as I said, with the deploy of the smartphones and all that, now Ghanaians are getting out there. They are enlightening themselves in terms of technology, because even my grandmother out there is even using a smartphone and can read or send me a text message. And so gradually, the education is also out there. Most of the banks are also going out there, also deploying a lot of innovation system whereby they can be able to bridge the gap between those people who cannot read and write.
One interesting observation I made during one of my trips outside the country was the fact that you could actually make a deposit in the bank without entering the banking hall. Is this something that we are also doing? Are we going towards that direction too?
We are even there. Like I said, example again is Barclays Bank.
Okay.
Now most of the banks, and I can also say the example now, First National Bank is also moving towards that direction. That most of our ATMs are also going to have enabled a deposit whereby you want to make a deposit, you don't need to go to the bank, or even at night time.
I see.
Weekends, you can go there and put the money in the ATM and just enter your account number, and your deposit will be made into your account. Barclays Bank, as you speak, is doing that in the country now. So
we're actually there.
We are there already. We are there because it's happening now in the country. Barclays Bank is doing it. So we are almost there. And most of the banks are also following that trend. So we are getting there.
I see. Looking at how our economy is structured, but I'm still coming back to the illiteracy level. Unfortunately, the level of illiteracy in the country is quite high. Looking at that, do you think that this will succeed?
It will, in a sense that, now it has not come to play, and there has been statistics that shows that most people are patronizing in that direction, because most people are always busy and all that. They don't have time to go to the banking hall and all that. And weekend, when they are being paid and all that, they still need to make deposits, and the banks are closed. So they will be able to learn how you can be able to make deposits through this electronic means. As I cited the example of the ATM deposits, where you can pay in cash, and the cash can instantly reflect in your account. Yeah, we will get there. It's time. We'll get there.
So we'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take a final break, and we'll come back. We'll wrap up on our discussions, and so stay tuned for the final session.
Do you know that there are more successful people in Ghana today than before? Well, that is the truth. And the secret is in prudent financial planning with the right financial manager. You need to know the right fund manager who spends your money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 12 months in a year. That manager is at Gold Coast Fund Management. At Gold Coast, your money never sleeps. It revolves every second to give you more money for use when you really need it. For the past 21 years, Gold Coast Fund Management has held a strong reputation of spending people's money to beat inflation, depreciation, and treasury bill rates. Put your money to work. Move from savings to investment. Pay your investment tithe into the Gold Fund and Gold Money Market Fund, and be assured that when you are in need, you can turn to them to resolve your financial problems. Gold Coast Fund Management. Investment advice worth its weight in gold.
Welcome back. So we are just wrapping up on our discussions on e-banking and the benefits that accrues to both the individual or entities as well as the economy as a whole. And Silas is still with me doing the discussion. So Silas, we're talking about whether this will be successful. And so the question I ask is, would you encourage everybody to then take the e-banking, especially ATM cards and things, that they should by all means get something like that?
Yes, I will encourage. I mean, I will encourage Ghanaians out there just to deploy the services of these e-banking platforms. I mean, the ATM, for example, the e-statements. Let me talk about the e-statement, for example. I mean, gone are the days where Ghanaians just walk into the banking hall and just print a large volume of statements. You don't necessarily need to do that. Electronically, you can set up the system whereby you can make it daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, that your statement can be sent to you through electronically, through your email address. Now, most Ghanaians have email address. So electronically, you can receive your email address. Or even with the use of internet banking, you can go to the website, you can go to your own profile using the internet banking and be able to download your statement.
I see.
Businesses can use that for their reconciliation easily without moving to the banking hall for those transactions. So gradually, it's something that I will encourage Ghanaians out there to be able to use the e-banking platform out there, because it's, as I said, it saves time, it's very secure, and also very convenient when using them.
Let's talk about subject matter that is, that First National, for example, has championed quite aggressively. The use of the MPOS or the POS systems.
Good.
How well is that going, and how do you use that? How well is it doing? But how is the use of that helping mobilize money or paying people?
Thank you. I am very happy that you cited the example of First National. We have a system whereby electronically, again, we are using electronic means of be able to mobilize cash. I mean, for the past years, what we use is that we have a POS, that's point of sale service, go out there to our client and be able to take out deposits. Now, what we've moved step forward is that now we've deployed a service, we've put another e-banking service where we call the SMS alert. Now, customers make deposits instantly; they get notification of the account balance on their phone.
I see.
And notify them about the deposit that they make on their account. Now, we've also moved step forward where we also have the value added service, another POS system VAS system whereby now with the same use of the points of sale service, our field cashiers or mobile bankers can walk to a customer, and the customer is also again being issued an ATM card. They can make a withdrawal instant at the place, also make a transfer on the account.
I see.
It's through the same e-banking
all
system.
Through that
point of sale MPOS system. A client can just have an ATM card with First National. Again, even the ATM card is also linked with GH Link. So you can also make a deposit through the MPOS system and make a withdrawal using the same MPOS system.
I see.
And SMS notification also will be sent to the customers.
So now, even if you don't have internet in your home or your office, as long as there is a mobile banker there with an MPOS system, you'll be able to still do a transaction through your bank account.
You'll be able to still pay bills, make transfers, make withdrawals and deposits. An instant where the field cashier is, and again you'll be notified with the transaction.
You are notified.
Again,
so you know what has been paid to you or what is going out of your account.
Exactly. So that is
see.
exactly what First National, and I can trust me, because now most of the Ghanaians, initially, when our field cashiers go to the field or mobile bankers go to the field to take withdraw deposit and all that, most clients are shying away of giving the cash to the mobile bankers. Now with the use, we introduce them to the SMS alert. Now they have confidence, and then also with the MPOS. Now without MPOS on the field, they are not willing to give the cash to the mobile banker. But now the Ghanaians are believing in the electronic banking platform, whereby without the use of POS, they are not willing to give the money. And once they give the money out to the mobile banker, an instant, a notification is also sent and notify them about their transaction they make in the accounts.
So all that you need on you to be able to access the MPOS, for example, is your card, or
It's
you
your
don't
card.
need your card.
The cards are used for withdrawals.
The cards are used for withdrawals.
For withdrawals and transfer and bill payment. So even if you don't want to use the withdrawal or you don't want to make any withdrawal, you can still
Make a deposit.
make a deposit without going through you coming to the banking hall and all that.
And that is an interesting one, because I'm looking at the market women, for example. You have situations where they make lots of money every day. Sometimes, you may have somebody attacking them to take their money. So if you have a system where somebody, a mobile banker, can take the money away, but instantly give you notification that you have received, we have received your money, it gives you some confidence. And I'm sure it's something that all, especially our market women, and those of us who have stores around should be looking forward to, making payments without having to go to the bank. This is banking at your doorstep.
Exactly.
Or your office step. That's it. But how well are people receiving that service?
Ghanaians are patronizing this service much in the direction that now, like I said, without the MPOS on the field, market women are not willing to give their cash out to our mobile bankers.
I see.
So even these Makola women who are not even come to the state of e-banking, electronic banking, now they are believing in the electronic banking system, that without seeing the POS system, they are not willing to give, and even when they give the cash out and they don't get notification, they still come to the banking hall and make sure that their deposits are being there. So they are believing in the electronic banking platform now.
That's interesting. That's a very interesting one.
And I can tell you, First National is the first, financial institution who has also come into this play of electronic platform in terms of the MPOS system. That because we are the first company who has deployed the POS system in the market, and even go further that you can even make a withdrawal at instant on the field using your ATM card.
Are there possibilities where somebody doesn't have the ATM card but can use a stamp print as well on the card?
Yeah.
On the MPOS?
Yeah, our MPOS is the advanced system whereby even without you having your ATM card, the system still captures image. It captures you
image.
And even have a scanner inbuilt in there
like
that
the
you can biometric system, a scanner that verifies you. So you can also still make your withdrawals out there without necessarily having your ATM card, because then it asks you about your PIN code and all that. So you should be able to provide that.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting place that we go to. If you look at moving from a society where we are doing everything with cash to a situation where you should be able to pay for goods and services, that you procure with just a card. Sometimes just your thumbprint, then at least you get that kind of security that you are looking for. Any final words to people who might be, afraid of using this internet banking or any of those things?
In my final message out there to Ghanaians is that I think they have to believe in the e-banking platform. It's a tool that most Ghanaians I can encourage that they have to deploy into, because one, I said, is time. It saves time. It's very convenient. It also helps in terms of automation in the system, whereby businesses out there can take advantage of the e-banking platform out there. First National, as I said, is one of the leading financial institutions which has also come to play in terms of we have we have the major of the e-banking platform you can find on the market out there. We have ATM, we have SMS, e-statement, internet banking, and then also the MPOS system that Ghanaians out there have to come on board and be able to use the electronic banking platform for their businesses and their transactions out there.
That's wonderful to know. And for me, it's a good thing we are doing, and we should encourage people for the use of the ATM as we even move towards a cashless society. So what we've been discussing today has been on the e-banking and its benefits to individuals, to corporates, as well as what it brings to the economy as a whole. I've had Silas Entry with me, head of e-banking at First National Savings and Loans, who has been doing the discussions with me. And we are grateful to you, Silas, for making time to be with us this morning.
You're almost welcome.
So as we head towards a cashless society, we encourage everyone, don't be left out. Everybody is going cashless. Everybody is using cards. And I hear we'll get to a point where you may not even need a card anymore. All that you may need is either your voice or possibly your thumbprint. That's all that you will need to be able to withdraw or to make some payment. It's been a wonderful discussion with Silas this morning, and I hope you stay tuned to watch the rest of our programs. You can always get to us on either through Facebook, on businesstvafrica.com/Facebook, or on YouTube at youtube/businessafrica.com as well. Or better still, if you want to send us a mail, you can do that at info@businesstvafrica.com. I've been your host, Benjamin Afre. I'll see you same time tomorrow morning. Have a pleasant day.
Do you know that there are more successful people in Ghana today than before? Well, that is the truth. And the secret is in prudent financial planning with the right financial manager. You need to know the right fund manager who spends your money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks in a month, and 12 months in a year. That manager is at Gold Coast Fund Management. At Gold Coast, your money never sleeps. It revolves every second to give you more money for use when you really need it. For the past 21 years, Gold Coast Fund Management has held a strong reputation of spending people's money to beat inflation, depreciation, and treasury bill rates. Put your money to work. Move from savings to investment. Pay your investment tithe into the Gold Fund and Gold Money Market Fund, and be assured that when you are in need, you can turn to them to resolve your financial problems. Gold Coast Fund Management. Investment advice worth its weight in gold.